Could you give me the benefits of naming this area a business district? Could you demonstrate to me what the advantages are?
Ở khu vực số 2 của thành phố San Jose. Và ông hỏi là nhân viên thành phố cái sự lợi và hại của những cái tên khác nhau.
In the city, we do have a distinction with the neighborhood business districts, and that's a very formal process. That's a general plan overlay. Absent that, we
đây là nhân viên của thành phố, nhân viên của Redevelopment Agency, văn phòng tái phát triển của thành phố.
Create an identity for the area, and also to have economic development, in particular retail development.
I mean, the investments that we make. What kind of investments do you make in these areas so that they can cause the economics to flourish? Do we get tax credits? Do we get RDA dollars for enhancing the infrastructure, or what is it that they benefit from as becoming this? And I think that's important for me to say that the city is committed to whatever businesses that go into that area or whatever they induce them to go there. There are things that we're providing, and that's why we're making this investment in the area.
Well, this area, as it turns out, was a redevelopment area for quite some time. I mentioned this, and it was in our memo, that it started out as an industrial area primarily, and over time turned into a retail area, and then over more time turned into primarily a Vietnamese area for retail. Obviously there's Hispanic business as well. We've already improved the medians, and this was one more attempt, I think, by council direction to beautify the area and identify.
Ông đã kể lại cái lịch sử của khu vực đó, từ khu vực nó gọi là industrial, nó tái phát nó lên trở thành khu vực thương mại.
In that area to further enhance it from where
it presently is to continue to
come
there and do business there to grow economically.
Certainly would immediately facilitate development, and then through your budget process you could identify additional funding or redevelopment funding, because it is a redevelopment project area.
Okay. Finally, there is no restriction. I think it's been asked earlier, but I wanted to ask again for clarification, is that in terms of the business, if it's a Little Saigon business, then it's welcome just like any other business. Is that true? I mean, there's no restriction on the kinds of business that would come in to this particular area. So you can bring a variety of businesses in that, and whoever brings it, eventually it could evolve or morph into whatever the community wants it to be.
Ông hỏi rằng khi mà nếu mà đặt tên là Little Saigon Business,
okay, thank you.
Những cái thương mại khác có được vô chứ?
My heart goes out to the individuals in terms of their desire for Little Saigon, and I cannot reach into the depths of your heart to understand how intense you are about it and why you feel it's so important. And I agree with you on that. I have worked with the Vietnamese community since the Vietnamese first started coming to America. When I was at IBM, I hired a lot of Vietnamese to work at IBM, and we helped them train individuals to be able to function in this country with skills and get jobs. And so I know the story. I know it, and you've done some impossible things. But tonight, it's not so much about what you can do or cannot do. It seems to be there's somewhat of a power struggle here, and so I can't decide based on that. What I can decide is to continue to support the Vietnamese community as a city, as an individual council member, and I must rely on the council representative that you selected as the person who has the greater depths in terms of the looking. Now, you may not agree with her. That's for democracy. You may not agree with her, but that does not stop you from
Bởi vì cô là người đại diện của cộng đồng Việt Nam, cô để cho người đó quyết
Little
định.
Saigon, if you want it to be Little Saigon, there's no restriction.
Nhưng mà nếu quý vị muốn nó gọi là Little Saigon cũng không
Even
stop
if
quý vị
we
được.
called it something else besides Saigon Business District, you still have the power to make it Little Saigon.
Quý vị vẫn còn
And you
có cách
can
để đặt nó là
invest.
Little Saigon.
You can invest.
Bởi vì ông
And
không
make
hoàn
it
toàn
be
hiểu cộng đồng Việt Nam.
whatever it is
Ông
that
phải để
you
theo
want it to
cái
be.
lời của người
It's
diễn viên.
not
Người
all
này là
in
cái
the
người mà
name.
hiểu cộng đồng Việt Nam.
And if the council person has come to us and asked for that support, then it's going to come upon us to respect that because she is your elected
Ông
representative.
phải kính trọng diễn viên Madison bởi vì diễn viên Madison là người đại diện của chúng ta.
No way.
We're almost done with this meeting.
Well, she's your representative, and I
Ông nhắc
respect
lại,
that.
cô đó là người đại diện của chúng ta và ông phải kính trọng cô,
Not
cái quyết
only
định
in the
của cô nghị
name,
viên.
but also in the economic development that we're going to be providing for that area. So I encourage you to take the energy that you've got, and instead of arguing about the name, that you make it be Little Saigon, that you put the economic development there that shows or demonstrates what you're intensely asking for tonight in the name.
Và ông nói là chúng
Transfer
ta
that into
thay vì cãi nhau về cái
action
tên,
and
chúng
make
ta làm
that
cái khu vực đó
area
thành công và nó trở thành Little Saigon.
It's not impossible. This is America. This is
Còn
what
đây nước Mỹ,
we're
nước
about.
Hoa Kỳ
It's
nó
not
không
just
phải là
about. It's not.
không làm được.
Okay.
So, this is not a debate. If you can't be quiet, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. We're trying to have a council discussion, and that's what we're going to do.
Well, I've always supported the Vietnamese community, and I will continue to support the Vietnamese community.
Ông nói ông luôn luôn ủng hộ cộng đồng Việt Nam và ông sẽ tiếp tục ủng hộ cộng đồng Việt Nam.
With Madison, because she's asked us,
Nhưng mà ông
she's
sẽ ủng hộ quyết định của nghị viên Madison bởi vì cô này đã hỏi họ
she has more
để ủng hộ.
insight than I do. But that does not mean that there's any less of an effort for you to continue to work to get Little Saigon if you want to. There's no restriction there. It's all about the name.
Nhưng mà ông nói là ông không
You have the
cần để tranh đấu
wherewithal
về
to
cái tên
do it. I know
Little
you
Saigon.
creative, and I know you can do it. So what we do tonight does not hamper you or restrict you. And I think you ought to take that energy and move to make Little Saigon in the area that we're calling Saigon Business District.
Họ sẽ đặt cái tên khu vực đó là Saigon Business District.
Councilmember